Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 17 of our 21-day journey. So nice to have you here again. And if this does happen to be your first time joining us, welcome. And just a reminder that the recordings of all the previous sessions are available on the website. Also a reminder to get your foot soak ready if you haven't had a chance to yet. That involves a nice dishpan full of lukewarm water, a handful of salt, a towel or paper towel to dry off your feet, and some rinse water. As always, at the end of the Zoom, we will have the opportunity to do a question and answer session, and we'll also have our breakout rooms as usual. So if you've had some questions arising over the course of the past few sessions and you'd like to get some personal answers to those, the breakout room is a great place to take advantage of that. So I do encourage you to use that. And also, as we've been mentioning for the past few sessions, we have the opportunity for you to have a mentor who can give you some personalized advice and support and love on your meditation journey. So there's a link in the chat for how you can request a mentor. And once you've requested, please do be patient with us. We're trying to assign people as best we can. So just give us a few days and your mentor should be reaching out to you soon. And also, I just wanted to let you know that when we complete the 21 days, which will happen at the end of this week, that's not the end. There's going to be many more opportunities to continue our meditations. We'll continue with collective foot soaks during the week of the 19th. And after that, we'll be starting another 21-day session where the days are not consecutive, but they're spread out. So we'll be together for many meditations across the spring. So yesterday, we learned about the Ajna chakra, this chakra, and the quality of forgiveness. And today we're reaching our beautiful destination, which is the 7th chakra, and we're going to learn about the quality of integration. And at this point, I'd love to welcome our presenters onto the screen with me. So we're really fortunate to have my dear friend Shivalika, who's going to guide us in some music and also in meditation. She's a longtime Indian classical vocalist, poet, performer, and long time meditator. So she's going to guide us beautifully. And Angie is going to be returning at the end of the session to help answer some questions and sort of join in the lofty reflection on the beauty of this chakra. If we can just keep from going utterly speechless at the beauty of it, we'll see how we manage. But yeah, can you each maybe share something beautiful that you saw today, or whatever you like? Shivalika, do you want to go first?
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Poornima. I am living in New Jersey, and I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga from the time I was very young because my parents were doing it when I was born. So yeah, it's a blessing truly to be a part of this big community and this divine experience. It's so beautiful, and also I'm so grateful to be here with everyone and can't wait to share it with everyone here.
Awesome. And Angie?
I'm originally from Austria and I'm since 2009 in the US. I'm meditating since 1994 and it has been an amazing journey. I can just recommend it to everyone, everyone who really wants to know himself or herself, connect with the inner being. That's the way to go. It's a beautiful journey.
Lovely. Well, with that, I'll bring us forward into the next phase. I'm going to be guiding the first meditation. So I'll give a very brief explanation about the Sahasrara Chakra, which is this 7th chakra, which is placed right here at the crown of the head, this area that was a soft bone when we were children. But even as I'm explaining, feel free to get yourself comfortable, take a nice deep breath, settle in your area where your foot soak is prepared. And what I would like to say about this chakra is it is truly the destination of our meditation. So we've been learning over the course of the week about the other 6 chakras, and they're lovely and important. And maybe it's a lot of new information for you, and it's possible you're feeling a little, overwhelmed with information. Hopefully not. But whether you are or not, this is the space where we can really relax and, in fact, surrender. Because the quality of the connection that comes when our attention goes to the 7th chakra and when the Kundalini rises to this point is utterly effortless. And I want to remind you actually that the name of this meditation, Sahaja Yoga, means spontaneous union. That's the meaning of the word yoga. So what is it that we are uniting with? When the Kundalini rises and pierces this 7th chakra, there is a connection that is made to the divine energy that loves, that nurtures, that takes a seed and sprouts it into a tree and then causes the tree to put out blossoms and then brings forth the fruit. All of these natural processes are done by this loving divine power. And in the same way, the flow of the Kundalini that we've been feeling over these past 16 days is a natural process, and it's an effortless process. And it happens in response to the right conditions, just the way a seed sprouting happens when the conditions are right. So what are the right conditions from us as the meditator? I can say one of them is our desire to enter into meditation. And the second one is effortlessness. And another word for that is actually surrender. So it's a very powerful thing that happens at this 7th chakra. And one of the ways to describe what happens there is integration. And that integration is the alignment of our whole personality so that we are no longer inconsistent. We are not one day very fast and one day very slow, or different parts of our personality being kind of jagged or unpredictable. All of our qualities get integrated and aligned. And what happens to us is that we are able to sustain this state of thoughtless awareness that we touch in meditation throughout our day and throughout our lifetime. It becomes the place where we rest. And in fact, the more that there's a crisis, the more our tendency will be to put our attention here on this connection and surrender whatever's coming up in our daily life to that energy, that divine energy that we connect with when our attention is here. I think there's a nice slide that just shows the 7th chakra, so we can take a look at this. As you can see, these qualities of the Sahasrara are the awareness of the divine, and actually I would even say the connection to the divine energy. And of course, it's an experience that is called in Sanskrit nirvichara, which means no thoughts. And eventually, by staying in this thoughtless state, we come into a space where we have no doubts. We are not arguing with ourselves inside. And the result is that we have a profound, joyful silence. And from that state, we are really able to enjoy the play of the world around us, the play of our own life. And what that is, you could say, a fortress. You're really protected when your attention is in this seventh chakra. And nothing can destabilize you from that. So I will just add one more thing, and then we'll dive in and we'll see if we can experience this a little bit, because this is a lifelong journey, deepening into the unfolding of the 1,000-petaled lotus, which is this seventh chakra. And the word Sahasrara is speaking about these 1,000 petals. When the Kundalini rises, it rises like a thread in strands. And even if one tiny thread rises, we get a sense of peace and a sense of relief. But every time we return our attention here, a few more strands may start to rise as we deepen into this practice. And the more flow of the Kundalini, the stronger the connection here, the more ease we feel, and actually the more bliss we feel. This part of the brain is sometimes described as the center where we can feel that state of bliss. And it's also described as the fontanelle bone, which means fountain. So it kind of fountains down and flows over your whole nervous system and is very soothing to you and to those around you. So let's meditate and see what we can discover as we put our attention on this really profound and beautiful chakra. So we'll begin by raising our Kundalini, the left hand rising up the center channel, the right hand wrapping around and tying a knot at the crown of the head. The second time we'll tie 2 knots, looking upward as we do so. And the third time 3. We'll do the bandhan of protection. The left hand is open, the right hand starts from it, arcing over and back. A total of 7 times. And now we can do this clockwise circle over the water that we're about to put our feet into. 7 times. We can make a request from our heart that this water with the salt in it will take on the qualities of the ocean to cleanse our subtle system. We can put our feet in. Let's sit with our hands open on our laps. And follow your instinct here. You can meditate with your eyes closed, or you can keep them open. It can be nice to look at Shri Mataji's smiling face, especially when we meditate on this chakra. I find it really helpful to look at her. She was a person whose connection in that chakra was so profound, so complete, that she really exudes the joy that we're all going for here. So whatever feels good. And let's take a couple of deep breaths and let them out slowly. And right away, let's raise our right hand up our central channel, stretch out the palm, and place the center of the palm against the Sahasrara, massaging in a clockwise circle so that the skin of your scalp actually moves a little bit. From our hearts, we can express this pure desire that Mother Kundalini please rise more and more fully. Please illuminate all the 1,000 petals of this 7th chakra. And please make me a fully integrated person. You can let your hand float a few inches above the crown of your head. And then bring it down to rest. And then we can raise our left hand to float above the crown of the head. Letting our attention come with our hand to that space. And then even when we lower our hand again, leaving our attention at the crown of our heads. Let's take both hands and point them downwards towards the water and towards the Mother Earth. From our hearts, we can ask this element of the water, this element of the earth, to receive and absorb and cleanse all the obstacles to our spiritual ascent. to our spiritual evolution. As we do this, we can watch what's happening with our attention. Are we in thoughtless awareness? Or are things coming in from the past or future? And if you see a thought kind of rising and falling, I should say, if you notice a thought coming, we can say inside ourselves, I surrender, and then whatever the thing was. I surrender the past, I surrender the future. I surrender all worries, all expectations. All bright ideas, all questions. As we surrender, we can let our attention rise up again to that space at the crown of the head. We can actually let all this stuff pass into that stream of the Kundalini and get washed away. This divine energy is so loving and so supportive. And so powerful. So what we're doing is simply handing off anything that comes into our attention to this infinitely capable and compassionate power. You may find that there comes a moment where your attention is just totally clear. You don't need to say, I surrender anymore, because there's nothing but silence. If that happens, just enjoy. Let's once again raise the right hand up the center channel and float it a few inches above the crown of our head. Notice if you feel something, but whether or not you do, let this gesture be a continued invitation to the Mother Kundalini to rise more and more completely, a continued expression of our desire to deepen into meditation. We can rest the right hand and feel with the left. Now we can actually take both hands and just kind of put them on your lower back and brush down your legs a little bit as though you're sending all the unnecessary obstacles into the foot soak water. Just do this 5 or 6 times. And then you can brush down your arm. So it's very satisfying to just get all the cobwebs out of there. And then go ahead and take your rinse bucket and rinse off your feet. And you can set your bucket to one side. And just open your hands again, nice and relaxed on your lap. If your attention got jostled, just raise your hand up the center channel a couple more times. And we're going to listen to a lecture from Shri Mataji and see how little we can think during this lecture, just receiving her words into that state of connection and silence here and seeing how they resonate with us.
Without meditation, you don't understand what is best for you. So today is a day when you have to promise me that you will meditate every night, every evening, maybe in the morning also. Whenever it is possible, if you can go into meditative mood, you are in contact with this divine power. Then whatever is good for you, whatever good for your society, for your country, all is done by this divine power. You don't have to overpower the divine power. You don't have to order, you don't have to ask. Just if you meditate, you are one with this all pervading power, which is another great blessings to us. Unless and until your Sahasrara is open, all the blessings of the divine power cannot come to you. Cannot. Maybe you might get some money, you might get some jobs, you might get this and that. But your own development is only possible when you meditate and your Sahasrara is completely open and open to truth. Now, the truth is that this divine power is compassion, is love. This is the truth. They say God is love, God is truth. So the equation has to be made that truth is love and love is truth. But it's not a truth that as you have for your own children, you have for your family. Attached love is not truth. If you are attached to somebody, then you never see the bad points of that person. If you are angry with somebody, then you can never see the good points of that person. But it's a complete detached love. And that love is extremely powerful. Because whenever you project that love to anyone, you will be surprised. The problems of that person will be solved, his personality will improve, everything will work out in a very big way, and his life will be changed. But if you are attached to anything whatsoever, that attachment itself causes problems and doesn't allow Sahaj to grow. This attachment could be any kind. For example, you can be attached to your country, attached to your society, attached to your family. It can be of any kind. But when Sahasrara is open, you learn one thing is detachment. It just happens that you get detached. Though, you are not running away. As it is in Sahaja Yoga, we don't believe in people who run away from society and go to Himalayas, or that I call it as escapism. That is not the point. What happens is that you are there. You see everyone, you watch everyone, you know everyone, you are close to everyone, but you are a detached person. It's a state of mind that you achieve when Sahasrara is open. Then that state you you are dealing with people, you are dealing with problems, you are dealing with situations, but you are not involved in it. There's no involvement. And that involvement which you had before can never give a complete insight what is happening, what is the truth is about any situation. So this detachment helps. The greatest thing of the detachment is that you are not affected. No use saying that, oh, you are not affected, mother, so how can you feel for another person? How can you have compassion for another person? Because if you feel for another person, then only you can solve the problem. But this feeling that you have is again a kind of an attachment. It is not a real feeling because it doesn't help. The person is crying, you are also crying. The person is trouble, you are also in trouble. And this does not help that person, nor will it help you. So to have detached in no way means you do not feel the another person. You do feel. You feel the agony of that person, the trouble of that person, of the whole society sometimes, and of the whole country. But that your feeling is so detached that the all pervading power takes over. First, we must have full faith in the capability of this all pervading power. As soon as you are detached, you say, you do it. Finished. Once you say that you are going to do it, it's you who is going to do it. Whole thing changes completely because you transfer all your responsibilities, all your problems to this divine power, which is so powerful, which is so capable, which can work out anything. So whenever you think that this problem you are going to solve, you are the one who is going to do it, then all right, the divine power says, all right, try your luck. But if you can really put this problem to the divine power, it will work out.
We will continue to be in meditation and just try to absorb the words that we just heard. And let's see if we can experience this silence, which is beyond our thoughts, which is beyond our own selves. We are going to sing the 7 notes of Indian classical music, and it is said that they are associated with each of our chakra, and they hold such divinity and power that when we sing them, keeping our attention on the respective chakra, it actually works out something, that it cleanses that chakra, that energy center. And when we sing them together, all 7 on our central channel up to the Sahasrara, we actually feel Mother Kundalini rising and going beyond our Sahasrara. And when she goes beyond our Sahasrara, we actually feel the real joy of our being. So let's see, we are in this silence, and let's sing together. So let's take our attention the base of our spine, the first energy center, Muladhara. And if any thought tries to disturb us, we will just surrender it. So I will sing the first note, and I request everyone to keep their eyes closed and sing with me for a couple of times. Sa. So the first note is Sa. And let's all close our eyes, take our attention to the first energy center, take a deep breath, and sing together. Sa. Let's take another deep breath and sing Sa. And let's witness if singing this first note changed anything in us. We'll sing one more time together, keeping our attention completely on Muladhara Chakra, the first energy center. Let's take a deep breath and sing Sa. Let's move our attention to the second energy center, which is Swadhisthana. And here we are going to sing Re, Re, Re. Let's sing together. Re. Let's start from Sa again. Sa, Re, Re. Let's slowly move our attention to our third energy center, which is Nabhi. Here we are going to sing the third note, which is Ga, Ga. So let's sing it together. Ga. Let's move our attention to Muladhar, then Swadhisthana and Nabhi while we sing Sare Ga. Sa re ga. One more time. Ga. When we sing Ga, do we feel a sense of satisfaction that also this chakra gives us? The peace. Let's see if we feel that. Let's sing together. Ga. Ga. Let's slowly move our attention to our next chakra, which is Anahata, the heart chakra. On the heart chakra, we will take a deep breath. Here, the note is Ma, Ma. And very interestingly, Ma in Hindi is for mother, and our heart chakra, the left heart, is associated with our mother. So let's see if singing Ma brings that security in us, brings that compassion and love. So the word is Ma. I will sing it once and then all of you can join in. Ma. Ma. Let us sing from the base itself, keeping our attention on each chakra as we move to the next. So let's start from Muladhara again till heart chakra. Sa re ga. Ma. Ma. Let's sing with full confidence. Ma. Now let's move to the next energy center, which is Vishuddhi. Here we are going to sing Pa, Pa. 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 Let's sing together. Pa. When we sing Pa, let's open our mouths and let our Vishuddhi chakra clear a little bit. Pa. Pa. Now let's move our attention to our Agya chakra. Here we are going to sing Dha, Dha. 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 Let's take a deep breath and sing together. Dha. Let's start again from Sa till Dha, which is from Muladhara till Agnya. Let's sing together. Before singing, we take a deep breath and sing together. Sa re ga ma pa dha. Dha. And while we are singing this, I request everyone to sit straight. straight but in a relaxed manner. And let's see if we enjoy this silence of music. Now let's slowly move our attention from our Ajna to our Sahasrara Chakra. On Sahasrara, we are going to sing Ni, Ni, and let's sing it starting from Sa till Ni. And try if you can sing with me when we reach Ni. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni ni ni. Let's take a deep breath and sing together. Ni ni. When we sing Ni, there's a very intense desire and a very deep desire to feel the love of the all-pervading power, the blessings of divinity. So when we sing Ni, let's feel this desire in our hearts. Let's again start with Sa till Ni. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni ni. One more time. Ni. Let's stay here for some time in this silence. And now we are going to sing from Sa till Ni, and at last we are going to sing the higher Sa, the last note, which takes us beyond Sahasrara even. So when we sing Sa, let's feel the integrity, the feeling of oneness with that all-pervading power, which is beyond our Sahasrara. So let's take our right hand, bring it in front of our Muladhara chakra, and slowly rise Mother Kundalini till Sahasrara and even beyond. So let's sing together. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa. When we sing Sa, let's feel that oneness. One more time, we are going to repeat this. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa. And let's enjoy the silence. As it was mentioned before, that Sahasrara brings us joy. It brings us the real happiness of our being in this silence. Let's see if we feel it. If we feel this joy, this happiness in our hearts, let's thank this divine energy. And let's thank the all-pervading power which is taking care of us every moment of our lives. In this state, let us raise our Mother Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandhan. We'll keep our left hand still, right hand moving around it, slowly rising, and we'll take one knot here. Second time, we'll do 2 knots. And the third time, 3 knots. Now let's put ourselves into Bandhan 7 times.
Thank you, Shivalika, for that joyful journey up the chakras. So we have a few announcements. A reminder, as I mentioned at the beginning, that though this particular 21-day journey concludes on this Friday, we'll be continuing with foot soaks 3 times a week the following week. And after that, we'll start a new 21-day session. But this time, the 21 days are spread out across the weeks a little bit more. And it'll be on the theme of going deeper into this meditation. It's lovely. It's both so simple and so profound, and so there's so many lovely nuances to deepen into over time. And that's what happens when we meditate together. So there's a lot to look forward to. And tomorrow, we are going to continue with that theme, actually, of going deeper into the silence that hopefully we've all experienced tonight. And you'll have the chance to learn about the power of using a mantra or a prayer in Sanskrit. So what we did just now, those were like you could say the foundation of mantras. So that's a really powerful tool that we can use in our meditations. And I think we just experienced that. So we'll go even further with that tomorrow. And as always, we've got our program resources. So just a reminder that you can hop right into the chat and request a mentor if you haven't already done so. And I believe there's a lot of people on the WhatsApp group now, but if you haven't joined it yet, please do follow the link to join the WhatsApp group. You'll get reminders for the course and daily inspiration and the daily Zoom link. And you can use this QR code to get to the website where there's handouts, recorded sessions, and I really do recommend you can watch back these sessions, even portions of them, if you have an intuition that a certain chakra or a certain meditation can really support you, go ahead and make use of that. So at this point, we're concluding the official, this is you could say the end of the official meditative part, but we do hope that you'll stay on if you like, and you can write to breakout room help to go into a breakout room and get some personal attention, get some answers to your questions there. Or if you like, you can stay in the big room with us, and we're going to do our Q&A. And for those of you who are staying, please do feel free to put any questions that you have into the chat right now. And ladies, welcome. Welcome back. I'd love to start by asking you both about this quality. Well, I'll give you a choice, whatever's coming to your attention, but there's two things that I think are really lovely for us to speak a little bit more about. One is this quality of surrender, and the other is this experience of connection with the divine power that we get in our Sahasrara. So if something comes to your attention in this moment of a recent, it doesn't have to be recent, but in a moment that you were able to surrender and just go into Sahasrara, and maybe it solved something for you or worked something out for you, I'd love to hear about it.
Should I go first?
Yes, go ahead.
About the connection, when we are on a Sahasrara, the connection with the divine is so deep that we sometimes don't even realize. Just one experience that happened with me a few years back. I was at Ganpati Pule, which is very holy place, and I was sitting in meditation. I felt so good. I was feeling so good vibrations on my Sahasrara that I felt complete oneness and with the divine power. And in that moment, I just prayed for my father's health, and he was not keeping well, so I just prayed for him. And after some time, I was talking to him on a call, and he said, some time back I felt that's, I need to sit in meditation, and I felt so good in my Sahasrara. Suddenly, I was at my office, and I felt that someone is clearing me, and I felt like such cool breeze on my Sahasrara. So it's like, we are so connected to each other with this power, with this energy that it is so beyond even our understanding sometimes. And it just makes us humble and more, and makes us to actually surrender and not like think anything when these things happen, small things. It just makes us to surrender more and be more humble. So this is what came to my attention.
It's so beautiful, and I feel it's such a great example of what Shri Mataji was talking about in her lecture, because she mentioned, how it's possible for us to get kind of attached, especially if it's a family member and they're not doing well. If we are not remembering to go into the state of meditation, it would be very easy to have like a list of worries and keeping us up at night and all this. But what your story shows is like, by surrendering and going into that state of meditation, and then just spontaneously he came to your attention, you were so powerful to send him that support or to pray for that support, which then spontaneously worked out for him. So nice. How about you, Angie?
Yeah, I just like I just a story came actually into my mind that I was not thinking of, but now it popped up when Shivalika told a beautiful story. It's a very sweet story because it shows, that it's not always about that we have to be so super serious and everything, is like very serious. But it shows also that this divine power takes care of our small, small things in life. So what happened, because there was really a story about the Sahasrara. We got a puppy last year and, 4 months old, and we were searching for a name, and I was like thinking I always wanted to call a puppy Daisy, but then somehow the name did not just fit, and we were searching, then we decided for Sage. And then what happened? Yeah, and then I was thinking somehow, I don't know why, but when I look at her, I think of a lotus flower, but I cannot call her lotus flower. So we decided we will call her Sage. And then actually it was last year with the 21 days where I attended, and I was pulled so deeply into my Sahasrara. And sometimes you can experience that it's a pull and you really are just fully there. And I don't know, I don't even know why, but I was thinking of our new puppy, and in this connection, I kind of, was showing it to the divine. Oh, see, we got the new puppy, Sage, in the Sahasrara. and and then I heard, or it's not really a voice, but it came somehow into the Sahasrara again. Sage is a good name for her, but what about Nalini? And I was so surprised, because this was so unexpected. And then after the meditation, I was like, okay, Nalini, I never heard that. So I was Googling it. So has Nalini any meaning at all? And the first thing that popped up was lotus flower.
Oh, wow.
And it was such a sweet story. So talking about this connection that we have, and it's something where you would not think that's anything important, the name of your puppy. But it's something that gives you so much. It was such a sweetness in that, and such a joy, and then this, oh my God, this oh my God experience. And there's so many beautiful things that happen like that when we are in this connection with the in the Sahasrara. And again, so many also beautiful stories can happen that are not about always going deep and always have to be doing this or that, but it can be something so joyful. So
I love that story. It's so beautiful because I think sometimes we do have this conditioning that like the connection to the divine, can only be on very serious subjects. But if we are the children, like it can just be these little dewdrops of moments. Like it's both a very profound connection, but it's also a closeness that you feel like, and these little delights can just come by surprise. And I think that is one of the qualities of being in the Sahasrara is ideas come, inspirations come and surprise you.
yeah,
And this is something I've experienced as well. My work is performing and acting and in theater, doing Shakespeare, and uh, there's a lot of language, like a lot of winding sentences, that are coming out. You would think, oh, it requires a lot of thinking. But actually, what I've found is when I am able to release into that state of the Sahasrara, I'll like take a breath and find I'm surprised by the next sentence. Even though I've memorized it, when I'm performing, it comes by surprise, and as it's coming out of my mouth, a new meaning of a word or a new joke that's in that line that I didn't know was there will just get expressed, because I feel that I am not the one who's doing it. I feel more like an instrument of the expressivity and the playfulness and the artistry of that divine energy, which is so artistic and has created all of us and all the puppies and all the flowers. So it feels like a collaboration with that playful, loving, and infinite energy.
I think that I find that's a beautiful, because we always have this idea that spirituality has to be like very serious and never laughing and go deep. But I found on this journey that this divine power is so humorous and, like it's kind of wants us to tickle, to make us laugh or to show us that it's there and give us really nice and good moments like that with the name. And sometimes also I had experiences. Now another story popped up in my head that was actually quite funny, like how we are also sometimes corrected, but with such a humor in it. And that happened long time back, where and so what happened was in the morning I was driving to work, and I was late, so I was stressed, and there was a lot of traffic. And then there was a car in front of me and a lady inside, and she let every car in, so it was super slow. So because there was a lane where cars they needed to go, I don't know, in. And I was like, oh, like getting very upset with her. Why she's let every car in. And so then I was like, okay, I will be fast. And, went into the other lane, passed her, went forward. And then I realized, oh, I have to go back into this lane. And no car let me in. But who let me in? It was her. And then I had to laugh so much because, these are these situations that are created for you, and you can sense this humor, how this divine power is smiling at you, and like maybe don't react so much the next time. It's these, small things that are so sweet, never harsh, even when we are guided or, like in that situation, I was not my calm, not reacting self. But then it's with such a humor and with such a tremendous love behind it, how we are also being guided through this power. So, yeah.
That reminds me of another thing Shri Mataji mentioned in her talk. It was so lovely. I don't know if I can repeat it correctly, but that she was saying how like the truth equals the love, and once we are in that state, we become sensitive, perceptive of these little lessons, and that they're loving, and that, like being, touching in on meditation every day, which she encouraged. Um, and I think all of us can attest that by having the humility, like you mentioned, Shivalika, to show up and meditate in the morning and show up and meditate every night, whether it's been a rough day or we're flying, it's like, okay, like we don't go into that mode of thinking like, okay, I've got it figured out, like I've meditated enough for this lifetime. Like, no. Like you always have to go back to the well. But when you do that, when we do that, then our sensitivity to these little humorous or sweet things is there, and we can notice all the little gifts that are, raining down. Oh, we could speak on this topic quite a lot, I think, but I just want to see if there's any nice questions in the chat, to see if we can answer. Ooh, this is a really deep question. I will speak it out, but I don't know if we can do a full answer. But the question is there a difference between the soul and the spirit? Or are they synonymous? And if there is a difference, please elaborate. There is a difference. Shivalika, do you want to which one of you, does one of you want to, I don't know, we could probably do a whole hour on that, but
I can try it.
you go ahead, yeah.
Or Shivalika, if you want.
You can go first, yes.
Okay. I mean, I usually try to explain it in a way that the spirit, that is like our very essence of ourself, and the soul is like the dress that the spirit wears, or like that's covering the spirit. And the soul is formed from the 5 elements, like the earth, fire, water, air, and ether. And in the combinations with these elements, that builds our very unique characteristics. So in a way, the essence, our true self, expresses through the different elements that are the soul, that are around the spirit. So
It's a very interesting question, because as Shri Mataji has said, the seat of the spirit is on our Sahasrara. And I feel that it, I sometimes feel it is synonymous, but I feel the spirit is a real being of our existence, is the real being and is a reflection of God Almighty. And of course, the same, the joy of our being comes when our spirit is shining bright. And it only is possible through our Sahasrara. So, yeah, that's what I feel. What about you, Poornima?
I think you both expressed it very beautifully. And I have to say in all humility that I myself am, I'm always learning every time I watch something from Shri Mataji's lectures, and I cannot claim to be able to explain it precisely. I do encourage you, as if you are getting curious about these really deep questions, please watch Shri Mataji's lectures, because she really, I was just reading actually, she's written a couple books as well. Each time I learn something more, and there's a depth of understanding that you can receive from her words in meditation, because she is speaking from such a deep state of meditation as well. But what it came to me to mention is that our being, including our physical body and the soul within, is like the housing of a lamp, but the spirit is the light in the lamp. So that light gives meaning to this material vessel. But the purpose of the whole thing is the light. And in fact, when we call something a lamp, it's almost synonymous with a light. So that's why we say, I am the pure spirit, because that is the essence. But there's this nice thing that allows it to shine. Let's see if we have any more questions here. Well, we have a sweet comment. Someone is saying, this is the right way to live. It's real life. We agree. Here's a question. This is a question for you, Shivalika. So this person is saying, I got very emotional when singing Ni and the last Sa. I could only sing the last Sa just once. I could not sing it after that. I got very emotional and tears started rolling from my eyes. Why did that happen?
I feel that maybe because, how our deep desire is kind of hidden sometimes with our worldly desires. The true desire is to be one with the divine, to feel the real joy of our being. So I feel it has happened to me once, and I feel when that desire is is converting into reality, and we feel that connection, we actually feel so full of love and so full of gratitude that it starts pouring out of our eyes in the form of tears, the love and compassion that we feel, the gratitude that we feel. As at some point we have forgotten that this is the real meaning of our lives, and this was the real desire that I have been longing for. So I feel this could be one of the reasons for them to feel this way.
It's beautiful. I'll mention also, like, it's common to feel this kind of welling up of like the joy overflows, and it's like a cup that overflowed, and there's kind of a rain down of that joy. And also sometimes we may feel an emotionality that is more like sadness. And sometimes this can be because the left channel, which is the channel of our emotions, has not had the opportunity to kind of express in our daily life, and something just needs to release out. And so that may happen occasionally doing various things in our meditation. And if that's happening to you, just observe how it feels. If it feels like tears of joy, enjoy it. And if it feels like, a sadness being released, or a kind of yearning that is almost painful, just notice that as well. And if it happens, a few more times, then you may want to do a few of the treatments for the left side, which we've started to explore already, and that we'll go deeper into. But I'll mention that using the light of a candle can be a nice balancing thing, so that the emotions are nicely flowing there, but not in such a way that you feel kind of like, it shouldn't be painful, I guess is what I'm saying. So just watch and see, and, let whatever experiences come, and just over time, you will observe the patterns that are happening for you, and you'll learn the techniques that will support you and find your balance. Someone is requesting the lyrics of the sounds that we sang. So
Maybe I'll post in the group.
yeah, keep an eye on the WhatsApp for those lovely notes. So maybe I'll ask you two to answer one more question about the Sahasrara. This quality of integration is, I would say, an ongoing deepening and discovery as we go deeper and deeper into our Sahasrara. And I wonder if any anecdote comes to mind for either of you, especially because both of you have been meditating for decades. All of us have, something that maybe felt a little disintegrated in the beginning that has gotten more integrated for you, like into your personality, or into, as a result of ongoing meditation. Is there anything that comes to mind?
I think, Angelika, you can go first.
I think what I experienced is, it happens so often that we think in one way how we should be, then the heart goes another way, what we want. And and then so where you really feel kind of, and it happened to me when before I started with the meditation, or even at the beginning, this having two minds, or sometimes you call it like that, the heart wants this, the head wants this, and you're kind of feeling torn. And I find that over the years, that was what happened, this integration of the heart and the mind, where sometimes I for me, it's like this image of a chariot where you have the three horses, the minds, the heart, and the body, and they all start running into one direction when you start meditating, while before each one ran into a different direction. So you feel more in control of yourself when this integration happens, and you feel really that you're moving forward. I mean, it happened to me that everything felt more not so foreign, but kind of okay now, everything in me is in one place and moves in one direction. It definitely happened to me, this integration.
I love that metaphor of the horses because if those horses are running in the opposite, it's like that chariot does not move. But it's beautiful to hear that, like looking back over time to find that you can go really fast. It's a powerful state, right? If those horses are moving in the same direction.
Right.
Mhm. How about you, Shivalika?
For me, I feel, um, it is so powerful when we are on our Sahasrara. We are feeling that the very cool vibrations on the Sahasrara, and we are beyond. I feel just I'll give one example. Something happened with me that I was teaching in a school, and it was very difficult phase in my life because I was trying to fit in new place and everything. And it was my mind which was telling me the challenges, and the heart was feeling the emotions, and my mind was telling me this is wrong, that is wrong, this is that way, and this should be this way, and all of that. But once I was just sitting in meditation, and it just so happened that that thing, surrender, as we were talking before, so that happened um, on Sahasrara. I feel this is what we all like should do every time we sit in meditation, that we surrender anything and everything that is going, the ideas that our mind is giving us. So just surrendered that on Sahasrara. And every day before I would go to my class, I would meditate 5 minutes and then go. And when I was there, nothing really touched me. Any challenges or any sort of, difficulties. Everything was a play. It was like, drama happening, and I was just being a part of it, and I enjoyed it. So the detachment that Shamaji was also talking about today, it just so happens that when we are there, we have all these beautiful qualities, you know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Hmm. It's so cool. And it doesn't take much, does it? Like, even just opening the door to go into the room where there's a challenge waiting, just remembering to put the attention there for like an instant can make a difference. Or like you were saying, the 5 minutes. I'll also mention something for me, like um, as I've gotten older, I've taken on more leadership positions. When I was younger, I was appearing in plays that other people had written, or other people were directing. And now sometimes I'm in a position like you, Shivalika, either as a teacher or a director and a administrator, all these roles that have some, you feel like you're wearing a big hat or you can. And I used to feel a little bit disintegrated from this leadership role, this, like, oh, can I step up this way? Or what does it mean to be in this role? And over time, one of the things I've found that's helped me so much is, again, the surrender that we were talking about, and actually this kind of affirmation of saying to the divine, you are the doer, you are the actor, you are the director, you're the writer. And then that sense of enjoying the play and enjoying the unfolding of whatever's happening, even if I am the person who's like in this so-called important position, it's like you said, it becomes a game, or it becomes a play. And so that quality of leadership has gotten more integrated into my personality, rather than something like, how they talk about imposter syndrome. I don't feel as much an imposter about it, because it's just one of the notes that can be played on this human personality that I have in this lifetime. Because I'm not really the doer of it. I'm just on the ride, and in the connection. So I think we've run out of answers. We're all in the connection, which is a good sign. So thank you both so much for your beautiful stories. It's so nice to hear, even from old friends. Always new stories come up in this context when people ask such lovely questions. So
Thank you, Poornima.
thank you. And we wish a beautiful night to all of you who are still here with us. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Mm.